Shabbat Shalom. Welcome. We'll begin with, we'll do it different this week. We'll begin with Shalom Aleichem as we welcome, as we were talking about before we started the live stream, the coming sense of spring and the joy of Purim next week. So we'll begin with Shalom Aleichem. Shalom. Shalom Aleichem. We've done that earlier. Hakadosh Baruch Hu Kochem l'shalom Alechei Shalom Alechei Elyon Imelech Alechei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu Baruch Hu l'shalom Alechei Shalom Shalom Alechei Shalom Alechei Elyon Alechei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shabbat Shalom. As we then look back on our last week, we think of the ups and downs of all that we've accomplished as we then join together with Lechuna Ranana, trying to find something in order to bring a sense of joy as we go into our day of rest. We continue with Lechuna Ranana. Lechuna Ranana l'Adonai, Maria l'Tzorei Sheinu. Lechuna Ranana l'Adonai, Maria l'Tzorei Sheinu. V'kamach ha'Todah, Yizmei Maria lo, V'kamach ha'Todah, Yizmei Maria lo. We'll continue with Or Zachua Latzadik. Or Zachua Latzadik, U'leishelev Simcha. Or Zachua Latzadik, U'leishelev Simcha. Simchu tzadikim Adonai, Tehudu lezecher kodsho. Simchu tzadikim Adonai, Tehudu lezecher kodsho. We'll continue as we'll rise for Psalm 29. Mizmor leDavid, Havel Adonai b'Levi, Havel Adonai Gadol ba'oz, Havel Adonai kerosh hamosh, Havel Adonai b'Havet kodesh, Kol Adonai al hamayim el hakavod kirvim, Adonai mayim rabim, Kol Adonai echad we'll now continue with Lecha Dodi. Rise and face our entrances. We'll continue with Shalom Rav, a prayer for peace. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Asim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Asim Le'olam. Ki Ata Melech Adon, V'chol HaShalom. Shalom, Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Asim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Asim Le'olam. V'tov Einecha v'barech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל Bishlomecha. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Asim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Yisrael Amcha, Asim Le'olam. So Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for joining. This week we're reading from Parshat Tetzaveh, which has a few, on the one hand, we're continuing to be in the description of the Mishkan, the items that were needed for the portable sanctuary. It's not until next week that we'll have the story of the golden calf, and so as congregants said last week, that this must be the most boring part of the Torah, and it's possible to say that, because instead of simply having the stories that present clear things, that requires us to have a little patience, to look inside, to be able to find the meaning through patterns and ideas. And so that's always a little harder. But the first thing that's interesting about this Torah portion is that, since that this is really the only Torah portion in the book of Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers, and possibly also in Deuteronomy, that doesn't include the name of Moses. That in every other Torah portion we have, saying God spoke to Moses. In Deuteronomy, Moses is speaking, and so we may not know it, but anytime he says I, you know who it is. But this seems to be the only Torah portion that doesn't. And instead, this is the Torah portion where God is commanding Moses to appoint Aaron as priest. And so over time, it's been a tradition of seeing essentially that pattern, which you can only tell when you pay attention. You can only tell when you're able to compare it with the different Torah portions, is one that is teaching us about what it is to set aside our own ego when we're having to support others. And so this is going back to the question of, why is Moses then not going to be the high priest? That we see Moses as being the leader of the Jewish people. He's the one who brought them out of Egypt. As someone who grew up in Pharaoh's court, we can imagine that he would have had a very regal bearing, but still, he then has to learn to step aside and let Aaron become the priest. And so the rabbis will give us a few different reasons for this. The first one is that the rabbis will claim that this is a punishment for Moses. That originally God wanted Moses not only to be the political leader, but to also be the high priest and religious leader. But because of the way that Moses continually sort of pushed away and did not want to be assigned the leader at the burning bush, that God said, fine, if you don't want to go, instead Aaron will ultimately become the high priest. You're still going to do this, but he won't have to always stand in front of people. And so we're able to see it as that punishment. But I think that there's maybe one other piece that is important, that provides an important lesson for leadership that we're all able to learn from. And part of that is it's important for for everyone, but especially for people who are in positions of power, in order to show joy in the accomplishments of someone else. And that this is something that we see Aaron do time and time again. That describes, when God says to Moses back in Parashat Shmot, that look, Aaron is coming and he'll help you to come back to Egypt. God tells Moses that Aaron is going to be happy in his heart to see him. That it's not just putting on a happy face, that rather Aaron is going to show a true sense of joy in reuniting with his brother, even as, Moses, being the younger sibling, is going to be the one to hold more of this political power. And so this is then that reminder for Moses not to become too wrapped up in his own ego, in his own sense of power, to be unable to show a sense of true joy at, Aaron having his time to shine. And so it's really that important teaching of being able to learn to have joy in the sense of others. That, obviously there can always be that sort of twinge of disappointment, whether it's seeing a good friend, be more successful at something, or even when it's seeing, child start to sort of take on the roles that it felt like it used to be your role in the family, that it's learning to essentially set aside your own ego, to be able to approach it with a sense of joy. And so, of course, it's not saying that Moses is unimportant as he appears throughout the rest of the Torah, but having the Torah portion right here acts as that reminder to be able to enter into that new stage of leadership with that sense of humility. And so something that has definitely been an important source of challenge and humility for the leaders of the Jewish world is the challenge of bringing the hostages home from Gaza. And so we'll continue praying for the 59 who are still held beneath Gaza. We'll continue with Achenu, praying that they may be released and returned home soon. Achenu, O Beit Yisrael, Achenu, O Beit Yisrael, Hanetuni B'tzava, B'tzava Uvashivya, Ha'omrim Ben Baya, Uven Baya Mashah. Anahakom Yerachem, Yerachem, Alechem Eyotzia, Yitzhara, Biracha, Ume'atela Le'olam, Mishibu, Migeula Hashta, Bagel Hahumis, We'll continue with Mishaberach, our prayer for physical and spiritual healing. Mishaberach Avoteinu Mekor HaBracha Le'imoteinu Be'tha source of strength to bless the ones before us. Help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imoteinu Mekor HaBracha Avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, renewal of body, renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. This week in our Har'el community, we're remembering Miriam Laniado, mother of Rachel Laniado, Leah Leiner, grandmother of Yael Zaks, Sylvia Rath, mother-in-law of Helena Rath, Morris Merav, father of Perry Merav, Anne Rabiner, mother of Fred Rabiner, Neil Chodam, father of Tony Chodam, Larry Krangle, husband of Lorna Krangle and father of Cheryl Asbia, Carmela Nemes, wife of David Nemes, Toda Levitt, sister of Diane Jampolsky, Barry Promislow, husband of Sharon Promislow, Alan Lever, father of Clara Akers, Louis Castle, father of Ari Castle, Sari Vasler, mother of Barry Vasler, and Morris Akers, father of Michael Akers. We pray that their memory may be for a blessing. Continue invoking the end of Mourner's Kaddish with Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom B'Numa, Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'imeru, Amen. Uyaseh Shalom, Uyaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Uyaseh Shalom, Uyaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Uyaseh Shalom, Uyaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Uyaseh Shalom, Uyaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Uyaseh Shalom, Uyaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu, Ve'al Kol Yisrael, V'himeru, V'himeru, Amen. So Shabbat Shalom, thank you for joining. And so we'll have services tomorrow at the synagogue at 10 a.m. And after services, there'll be a Kiddush sponsored by Rachel Laniato and Brandon McManus and family in memory of Rachel's mother, Miriam Laniato. And Rachel and Avital are cooked for the Kiddush, preparing a vegetarian cholent. And then after services, I'll be teaching a short class on the Book of Esther. So that should be good to stay for. And then on Sunday, the rallies at Vancouver City Hall continue to call for the release of the hostages. At Harel, we'll be having our Hebrew school, the Purim party for children. So that's going to start at 11:30. And so if you're part of Hebrew school, just come for the normal day. But if you don't have kids or grandkids in the Hebrew school and want to bring them, it'll be open to the community. We ask you to register $10 per family, and that will start at 11:30. And then we'll be having our community-wide Purim celebration Thursday, March 13th at 5:30 p.m. And the registration for that will close on Tuesday, so if you want to come, please sign up now. And yeah, it'll be the Megillah reading, light dinner, and drum circle. And then, of course, Passover will be coming up, and so one of the first ways you'll be able to prepare for Passover is we'll have our session. It's called More Than 4 Questions, about preparing for your family Seder. So that'll be Sunday, April 6th at 11 a.m. The other things coming up with the Sisterhood, Sunday, March 16th at 3 p.m. will be the next Sisterhood movie. And, I was going to say, so Pam Shapiro is now teaching yoga again, so that'll be Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Every Tuesday for until she goes away again. And then, of course, there's Mahjong on Tuesday afternoon, which is then the funny thing of people who go and come back. So Tuesdays, the idea that you would go to yoga in the morning and Mahjong in the afternoon is always very sensible. The fact that it's all in one building always feels, may feel a little strange, but, it's the building transforms itself every moment. We have a lot going on. So we'll finish with Vishamri and just Kiddush today, as there'll be another service later. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Shabbat Asodat Shabbat Edorotam B'Ritolam Bein Yuvim in Israel Oti Leolam Oti Leolam Oti Leolam Vishamru b'nei Yisrael Shabbat Asodat Shabbat V'sheshen yamim asa Adonai et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha'shabbat v'asot et ha'shabbat v'dotam b'vidova Uvayom hashvi shavat v'yinafash Shavat v'yinafash Shavat v'yinafash Yeshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha'shabbat v'asot et ha'shabbat v'dorotam b'vidova Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Okay, so Shabbat Shalom, and one announcement that I forgot is, of course, with the daylight savings time, which only we just stopped doing this, but daylight savings time will begin this Saturday, so it means that the clocks are going to move forward. And so this means that now that sun sets later, the live stream will move to 6 p.m. But because we are having in-person services every other week, the best way to join will be going to Harel this week and copying the correct links that's there. Because when we have the service in the sanctuary, it'll just be the normal streaming link. When we're not having a sanctuary service, it'll be this link. So it'll be confusing. We'll see how it works. But the good news is it seems like we have the demand to have in-person services. So,